Hey guys, so I know this week we are focusing a little bit more on the solar plexus chakra, which is more about the midsection. This one that we're going to be doing today, this practice is going to be a little bit more focused on heart openers, which as you guys know, we've talked about this the last couple of weeks. The chakras really are going to complement each other. So from the solar plexus up to this heart chakra, any place in between is going to be affected by the poses that we're doing today. So grab a mat. We are going to go ahead and get set up in restorative fish. This is something we've done many times. I wasn't really sure the best way to have the camera and yoga mat set up today, so I'm going to probably end up switching around a few times today. But so you've got your two yoga blocks. The one that's going to go under your scapula, your shoulder blades, is going to be on the medium setting. And then a few inches behind that, you're going to have the second block, which is going to go on the bony ridge that sticks out of the back of your skull. That's your occiput. You want to make sure that this feels really good and comfortable. So as you set it up, just remember that when you lay down, you might need to make a few adjustments. So once you are set up, you're going to sit in front of your two blocks. Now as you come down, be careful. You want to make sure that you are solid here, that you're not going to fall off and move around all over the place. So for me, I just need to scoop my shoulders down a little bit. My head is fully on this block. It's not tilted in any way. It's just as it is. And then one other option I'm going to give you, if you are somebody that knows that your hips are not super tight, maybe bring the soles of your feet together for a hip opener as well, which is going to start to get into our sacral chakra, which is the one that we did last week. Now, if you're in this position, it doesn't feel quite right, then just either re-straighten the legs or feel free to bend your knees, take your feet just outside of your hips and allow the inner thighs to come in to connect. To start, we're going to have the palms facing the ceiling, and then just take a moment, lift the left shoulder, tuck that shoulder blade in towards the middle of your back a bit, and then repeat with the right. So you feel that big broadening along the collarbones. And then we're going to start to connect in with our breathing. So from the bottom of your belly, start to inhale from there through the chest and let it rise up into the throat. And then you're going to exhale throat, let it move through the chest, back down the belly. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling 3, 2, 1. Take a moment to pause. Breathe it out. 1, 2, 3. We'll take 1 more. In belly, chest, throat. Exhale, throat, chest, belly. So take a moment, let your breathing fall back into a natural, more rhythmic pattern of breath. And just kind of notice how you're feeling today. I know we step onto the mat many times, especially by this portion of the day, and you're feeling fatigued and tired. Hopefully a few deep breaths is going to restore a little bit of energy to your body. So remember that the breathing is not just to soothe, it is also something that we can use to energize us as well. We often yawn or get the hiccups because of lack of oxygen. So taking these few slow deep breaths in and out is going to help serve you well. Okay. So just notice how your hips, your chest, your shoulders are feeling. What's happening on the muscles of your face? Can you relax your eyes, your mouth, your cheeks? And then just take a moment. We're going to take our hands and you're going to keep your palms face up. Take your pinky fingers of both hands and tap them into the thumbs. And then remove those. Do the same thing with the ring fingers, then the middle fingers, and then the pointer fingers. And then we'll reverse. So now we'll go middle, then ring, and then pinky. Now stay in this position, but make 2 fists. Scrunch up your knuckles as hard as you can, like roll them in, tighten up the arms as much as possible. If you're comfortable squeezing your feet together, if you're in the butterfly, do that. Squeeze every muscle that you have, belly, face, all the things. And then you're going to slowly start to release the hands first, whatever you tightened up next, and then slowly we'll release all the muscles, including the face. So we're going to stay in this position a little bit longer, but we're going to add some movement. So whether you have straight legs or feet together, we're all going to come to bent knees. So here we are. I'm going to move sideways just so you guys can see. I know that you're probably closed eyes at the moment, but just in case somebody needs to see what's happening. So from here, we're going to actually roll the palms face down. You're going to take your hands down by your sides. We are bending the knees, just like if you were going into fish pose. Take the inner thighs together. This is going to help solidify you and stand firm into your feet. You can keep the eyes closed if you want, just give me your ears, or you are welcome to follow along with your eyes as well. So palms are down, hands are by your sides. You're going to take a nice big breath in, reach the arms up, back, and behind you so that the backs of your hands are moving to the floor. You can see mine are nowhere near the floor, and that's okay. That's not what we're trying to really accomplish today. But you're going to sweep the arms out wide to the side like a snow angel, and then the palms will turn back down as you come towards the hips. So let's speed that up. You're going to inhale, palms sweep up and back. Bring it out to the side, make a big circle here, palms down. Inhale, lift, palms up. Circle out to the side as you exhale, turn the palms down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. Last one here, just getting some movement in the collarbones and the chest. Now you're going to reverse. So palms are up, hands are by your side. Take them out wide, up and overhead, and then bring them down so that your palms touch the floor or move towards the floor. Palms out to the side, sweep them up and overhead, forward and down. You've got 3 more. Move with your breath. Sweep it out wide. And exhale as you come forward and down. Last 2. Let the breath be slow and steady. Take 1 more here. Notice how your shoulders are feeling. My left shoulder is feeling a little bit funky, so that is one good thing that comes out of this. I know I'm going to have to be a little bit more mindful and careful. All right, we're going to come off of our blocks, so just come off to your left forearm for a moment. Lean to the side, remove the blocks, put them at the top of your mat so they're there and ready to go when we need them. And then you're going to come on back down to the ground. I guess I'm going to stay facing this direction. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a good hug here. You can rock a little left and right if you like. And then I want you to try something a little bit different. So thinking crow pose, and it has been a little while since we've done this. Some of you have not done this with me before, but we're going to do crow on our backs today so that when we get to it in the actual practice, it'll feel a little bit easier, or at least you'll understand the mechanics a little bit easier. So if you think about it, your crow is your arm balance, right? So you want to have your arms like chaturanga or the tricep push-up arms. So what you're going to do is you're going to start to take your elbows up by your sides here, turn the palms out, and then start to bring your knees into the triceps. Bring the heels together, the toes are going to be turned out a little bit. So you're going to push the triceps into your knees. My wrists are flexed here. Push your knees back into your triceps. This is your crow pose right here. The only difference is you get to lay on your back to do it. So let's release the feet forward. You're going to keep the arms where they are. Let the heels tap down, then you're going to bring it back in. Try to snuggle the knees up a little bit higher. So when we're learning this, most people will wrap their knees on the outer edges of their triceps. But we really want to try to get the knees up a little bit higher, closer into the armpit. So let's hang here. 3 breaths. Push those knees into the arms into the knees. 2 more. Really press here. Last breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to keep your right knee where it is. Take your fingers around the shin. Extend that left leg forward. Find your Ardha Appanasana. Let's just go ahead. We'll make a couple little circles here. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to spend too much time on the floor. Go ahead and switch to the opposite direction. So solar plexus chakra is all about the abs. So let's go into a little bit of a twist. Left hand on right knee, right arm out to the side. Go ahead, draw the knee across the chest. Keep that right shoulder on the floor. You can turn your head to the right side of the mat if you choose, or keep your nose facing the ceiling. 3 breaths in and out. Try to squeeze the belly. Think Uddiyana Bandha. So that is that little lift and lock of the abdominal muscles. And on this next exhalation, we'll go ahead and bring it back through center. Draw the left knee in to meet the right. Give yourself a big squeeze. Lower the head. Left knee stays in. Right leg extends forward. Give it a little shove in towards the rib cage. 3 little circles here with this left knee. Go ahead and we'll switch directions. Finding our little spinal twist, activating solar plexus chakra, right hand on that left knee, left arm out to the side. Go ahead, draw that leg across. Ooh, you might get a couple little snap, crackly pops in your low back. I know that always feels really good for me, but just 3 breaths here. Trying to keep the abs turned on. So think about being on the beach in your bikini, your crush is about to walk by. You want to look tall and proud. So you want to think about lengthening the spine. And go ahead and draw the knees back in together. Nothing new here. We're going to rock front to back of the mat and then come all the way up through to seated. So I'm going to turn to face you now. You're going to want to have a block handy for what we're about to do next. So from here, you're going to keep your right leg where it is. Take your left leg out to the side. Think of like almost a half of a straddle stretch here. And then from here, you're going to take your yoga block, place it on the medium height, right on the inside of your thigh. And then you're going to lay your left elbow down on side. Inhale, lift it up. Circle that arm around 2 more times. And then reverse. So reach the other direction, big circle, 1 more. And then as you bring this arm over your ear, you're gonna hold here, start to look up. These little lateral flexions of the spine, when we move side to side, that's also good for solar plexus. Having the block here early in the practice is gonna make this a little bit easier and feel a little bit better. So think about lengthening in the side ribs, so both sides of your body, not just one. 1 more breath here. Go ahead and come through center. Take your block, you're gonna put it on the tall setting ahead of you. Open out this right foot. Okay, and then from here, it doesn't need to be super duper wide, just wide enough. You're gonna start to hinge forward a little bit. Keep your back nice and straight. And then as you come down, maybe you can lower your head to your block. And if you can't get there, you're just gonna hang out here. Now this leg here on this side should feel a lot different than this one here, or at least a little bit different. And so we're gonna even things out. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Try to soften the face. Last one. Walk the hands under the shoulders, press the mat away, rise and shine. So you're gonna bend this left leg in. Take your block, put it on the second setting, right on the inside of the right thigh. You might need to adjust where you have it set. The only thing that's important is your shoulder should be stacked right above your elbow. So we're gonna inhale, lift this left arm, reach it up first, and then 3 circles, doesn't matter which direction because we're going both. Just take your time here. Shoulders are finicky. We wanna make sure that we are caring for them. So going fast is not going to be a wonderful idea. Go ahead, we'll circle around the other direction. 2 more. And on this third one, you're gonna hold here, press that forearm on the right side down into the block, open the chest. Remember, we want both of the side bodies to be nice and long. So I don't know if you guys just saw that adjustment for me, but you're gonna have to lengthen and reach. Pressing into your left glute just to help you stay put. 1 more breath. Good. Go ahead and come on out of it. You're gonna keep your right leg where it is. Go ahead, let's unfold the left one. Maybe you can get a little bit bigger straddle stretch here. Take your block, put it in front of you, and then hands under shoulders. Maybe walk forward a little bit. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're able to come down a little bit more, resting your forehead or your chin on your block. My super bendy, maybe my dancers might be able to go a little bit lower. Keep your feet very turned on and active. So you're drawing those toes back towards your shin bones. And notice, hopefully you're feeling some equality from that right side to the left now. Keeping the belly strong, our whole practice. I know it's easy to forget, but try to keep it nice and tight. We'll take 1 more breath and then we're gonna move into our butterfly pose just to see how the outer hips are feeling. So walk it in, move the block, keep it nearby, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring the bottoms of the feet together. Remember, you have some options here. If you are feeling super tight, maybe you got your feet together and your knees are a little bit like in flight of a butterfly. Today, maybe try putting your feet on top of your block. Bringing the hands under the ankles might feel a little bit more comfortable for you. So I'm gonna actually take that modification today and just lean a little bit forward. Once you're here, you wanna press down with your elbows or forearms into those inner legs and then drive your legs up into your forearms and elbows. So you're creating that tension that's gonna serve you well as we move into our crow pose. All right, 2 more breaths here. Can you hinge a little bit further forward? Can you press and push a little bit more? And then go ahead, we'll move our feet. You can roll over onto your tabletop, all 4. Just let me give myself a little space here. All right, in your table, we'll go ahead and just take 2 cat-cows just to lengthen the spine. So open that heart, press it away. 1 more. Okay, nice flat back. You're gonna lean a little into that left hand, but try not to like dump into it. You're just gonna lean so that we can pick the right leg up. And you're gonna extend that right leg to the back of your mat. So you can't really see my leg right now, and that's fine. Draw your belly up and in. All you're gonna do is bring right knee to right elbow 3 times. So bring it in, push it back. Bring it in, exhale it back. 1 more. Now we're gonna take it out to the side this time. So bring this knee around. Think about a dog at a fire hydrant. Right knee to the outer upper arm. Think crow. Push it back. 2 more. Oh gosh. 1 more. Hold it here. Karate kick. Bring it back in. 2 more kicks. This is why we're leaning a little to the left, but pushing through both hands. Hold that right leg out. Lean a little bit more to the left. Bring that foot all the way to the top of your mat. So now we're in this modified lizard pose. So go ahead, bring your hands down. If your wrists are feeling a little tight today, maybe a block under the hands will make things feel a little bit more lifted. All right, so belly is on. Left hand's gonna stay down. We're gonna take a little twist here, right arm up. Sweep your right arm to the back of the mat, all the way to the front. 2 more. You can follow your hand with your eyes if you like. Guess where you're going next. Reverse, reverse. So sweep it to the opposite direction. And then as you come up this time, you're gonna just take that arm and wrap it, drape it behind your lower back. So you're in a little bit of a half bind here. Can you open that left shoulder towards the inner right thigh more? Pull your abs up and in. We'll take 2 more breaths. We're gonna do something a little bit tricky. We're gonna move into our half split from here. So start to turn towards the camera. You're gonna shift your hips back, pull your toes up, and then bring your hand with you. So the right hand is still behind the low back. If that doesn't feel good, you may certainly unwrap it, but if you can keep it there, you'll see why that's gonna be helpful in a little bit. So those of you that feel nothing in your hamstring, in the back of the leg, press your heel a little further forward. Remember to keep your toes coming towards your nose. Take 1 more breath. On your exhalation, step into the right foot, walk that left hand in a little bit closer. Right arm's gonna come in and down on the inside, so now you're in lizard pose. Okay, so here's where things are gonna get a little different, a little bit tricky. Right hand is gonna stay on the floor. You're gonna hug this right knee into the shoulder. Do not let it come off, so you're kind of gluing these points together. You're gonna inhale, open the left arm. Circle it just 2 times this round. And then go the other way. From here, you're gonna hold that arm up, curl your left toes under, lift your left knee. So now you're in this low lunge, and this is a bit much early on. Back heel down, rise up, warrior 2. All right, that's not gonna work, so let me turn my yoga mat. All right, so here we are. We are in our warrior 2 pose. Eyes are gonna go right over those middle right fingers. Pushing into both feet. You're gonna take the right arm, lift it up, take your left arm, wrap it around your lower back. So you're in your reverse warrior. Moving into extended side angle, right elbow to the right thigh. Hold the left arm behind your back and roll that shoulder back. Maybe even peek at the left shoulder here. Belly strong. Okay, we're gonna need a block. Listen carefully, you're gonna start to straighten that right leg. Lift yourself on up, turn all of your toes out on a 45-degree angle. Both hands are gonna come behind you. You're gonna make a little basket. Knuckles down, chest up, and then you're gonna start to fold forward. Once you come forward, hello, you're gonna lift your shoulders off of your neck so that you have space there again. And then shift your body weight a little bit forward. Remember, bend your knees. Your goal here is to tuck chin towards the chest and look up at the ceiling behind you. That might be a tall order. So if you're feeling like it's a bit much, hands are gonna stay closer to the low back, maybe come up about halfway instead. All right, friends, 3 more breaths here. Keep shifting your body weight a little bit forward. And then stay in the forward fold, lower your hands to the small of your back, and then bring them to the floor. Take a half lift here, and then grab your yoga block. So just one of those blocks. Let it come a little bit forward in front of you. You're gonna take your left hand onto the block and move it into the center a little bit more than it probably would have been if you would have just put it down. Right arm's gonna lift up. Good. Little twist here, push into your left foot so that you're not pushing your hips over to the right. And then you're gonna really circle that arm, front to back, 3 times. And then reverse the other direction. Good, let's go ahead, we'll switch. So you're gonna put the right hand where the left one was, lift that left arm up, take a little twist here. You're opening out towards the left side of the mat. Let's go ahead and make those 3 circles. So remember, you're going both directions. Doesn't necessarily matter which direction you go first. Switch which way you're going now. Good, now listen, you're gonna put both hands on the block. I want you to tick-tock your feet towards the back of your mat. So you're gonna be facing the other direction. And you're gonna lower your right knee down. You're gonna bring both hands to the inside of your left leg. So we're doing the same thing on the other side. We've just changed directions. And you'll see why in just a minute. So the right hand's gonna stay down, left arm's gonna open up, find that twist. Once you have yourself situated, pull your abs in, 3 arm circles, both directions. Take your time, no rush. Last one, notice how the shoulder feels. Go ahead and circle the other way. Good, and then from here, you're gonna go ahead and drape that arm behind your lower back, and then roll that left shoulder away from your face. So remember, we are pulling the belly button up and in. Your hand that's on the floor should be pretty light, and then start to turn your chest towards your inner thigh. Hug that knee in, make yourself nice and compact here. And then from here, we're gonna start moving into our half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So turn back towards the top of your mat. Start to shift your hips backwards, pull those left toes up off the floor, and then walk your hand back into a position that feels good. Now remember, if you don't feel anything, shift or shimmy that left heel a little bit further forward. Keep that shoulder open on the left side and keep your foot really active. Just a few breaths here. Last one in. On the exhale, step into that left foot. Release that left hand down now. So we're back to our lizard. You got your left shoulder and left knee kissing each other. They should be nice and strong. And then you're gonna take that right arm, circle it back and around, and let it come underneath of that low back. So now you're in this half bind here. Okay, so just hang tight. We're gonna go ahead, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and immediately spin the heel down. So we can come up for warrior 2. Hopefully your feet are heel to arch alignment. I gotta move my little left foot over just a touch. And then again, you're gonna look over your front fingernails, middle one specifically. Find that reverse warrior here, and roll that right arm back underneath the low back again. Left elbow, left thigh. Good, so you're in your extended side angle. All right, one more breath here. Straighten the front leg. Turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat again. We're gonna go one more time, wide forward fold. This time you're gonna sweep the arms up and overhead. Bend your knees a lot, pitch yourself forward. You're gonna stop halfway so that your head and your hips are in one straight line. Shift a little bit forward and then come all the way down. So my super tight hamstring people, hands are gonna stay forward. Got a little bit more mobility. Crawl your hands backward. Think chaturanga arms here. So remember in this one, you wanna kind of tuck chin towards the chest still, but you're utilizing that seal, the connection that your hands are making with the floor to help pull you even further forward. Gotta just keep an eye on the time. All right. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Can you give me a little bit more, lifting the tailbone? Go ahead and walk your hands forward. You're gonna lift up about halfway. And then we're gonna do something a little different. You're just gonna walk your feet into the center of your mat. Take your half lift and then fold forward. Push into your feet. You're gonna root down, rise on up. All right, so we're gonna give crow a try first, and then we got one more surprise. So this is all about flying today. So I'm going to use my yoga block for this one. We have practiced this before, so some of you know what you prefer, what you don't like, but I think it's best, or easiest at least, to come from a yoga block on your feet. It gives you a little bit of height, makes it easier to get your knees up into your armpits. So remember, you want your heels together, so your heels are going to be kind of hanging off. Your feet, your toes should be on the block. Bring your heels together, okay, so that your toes are kind of out on a little bit of a V shape. And then you're going to slowly start to come down. You can see my knees are already opening out wide to the side. You can kind of sit down for a moment. Hands are going to come all the way down. Fingers are spread wide and far apart. And then once you get that established, you're going to go ahead and start lifting your bottom. Put your knees up right there in the armpit space. So you might not even go any further than this today. And that's okay, but you want to find somewhere to look with your eye gaze. So we say like 6 feet in front of you, so a little bit past your yoga mat, probably a good spot to be looking at. And then you're just going to start to lean forward. I like to lean forward and back just so I can kind of get myself situated. Once I lean a little bit more forward though, then just take your right toes off the block, put them back down. Now do it with the left, put it back down. Find your dristi, sit back. So you're just gonna release out of it for a moment. You can come off your block if you want, but we're gonna give it a good shot here in just a sec, so I wouldn't go too far. So remember, the key to this is pushing your knees into your arms and your arms into your knees. All right, here we go. Heels together, hands forward. You got bird hands, spread those fingers nice and wide. Lift up, press your knees into those arms. Find your dristi. Maybe take 1 foot, maybe get 2. If you get both feet, your goal is to stay up for about 5 to 7 breaths. Pull your tummy in and breathe. If you fall flamboyantly, just fall backwards, not onto your face. All right, we're gonna come out of it nice and slowly. So 1 foot comes down at a time if you had 1 foot up. And then we're gonna just kind of straighten the legs, step up off your block. You can go ahead and move that block out of the way. And just take a moment, give your legs a little bit of a shake. So let's neutralize the spine. So we're gonna go into standing Ardha Chandrasana. This is your standing half moon. Feet are a little bit apart. You're gonna inhale, arms up. Take your left hand around your right wrist, push into your right foot, lift up on that right arm, lean to the left, and you're looking up under this tricep here. So just like when we were laying down, try to get the ribs away from your hips. Come back through center. Switch, right hand or left wrist, lift and lengthen, and then we bump it over to the other side. So any kind of lateral side to side movement is really good for your spine. And then we're gonna just take the hands, place them on the lower back, shoulder blades together. Press your heart forward, tilt your chin, look up. All right, gang, let's go ahead, take a little walk to the top of your mat. Big toes touch, find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Sweep the arms up and overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Forward fold is your Uttanasana. Fingertips to the shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Fold forward, hands to the mat, step it back, high plank. All right, this is the first time we've been here today, so knees, chest, and chin. Take a cobra, so belly committed to staying on the floor. And then curl the toes under, come to your knees, and then lift them up. Go ahead and find your downward facing dog. All right, everybody. Left leg's gonna fly. Bring your knee to your chest, shift your body forward, step your foot between your hands. And then from here, go ahead and spin that right heel down. Walk your left hand inside for just a moment. Right arm's gonna reach up. So if this is too much, then I want you just to kind of come back up here. Arm is overhead. Beautiful. One more breath. And then all you're gonna do is turn to face the top of your mat, pick up that back heel, and we're gonna rise up to warrior one. So once you get your right heel lifted, step that foot out to the side a little bit and press your heel down. Remember, warrior one, your hips are gonna face the top of your mat, rise up, lift the arms, and then you're gonna bring your hands back behind you. Maybe fist bump yourself. Maybe you can come into that reverse prayer. It's been a minute since we've done that. Okay, chest proud, straighten your left leg. Turn your heart a little bit more forward and come to pyramid pose. So you're just gonna let your heart come over your thigh. So if you can't quite keep your hands back behind you, you can let them come to the ground, but really try, because this is gonna be important in just a moment. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay, listen carefully. Keep your hands as they are. Look a little forward, bend your front knee, rise up, and then let's refine warrior 2. Moving that left foot over a little bit. Remember, heel of the left foot is gonna cut the middle of the arch of the right one in half. Okay, let's give this a shot, shall we? Move to the left. You're gonna lay your arm on your thigh for a moment. Take this right arm and wrap it back behind you. And I want you to come up and see if you can maybe get your fingers to the inside of your left thigh. You can get that. That might be where you need to stay today. Otherwise, you're gonna take your left arm under your left leg and see if you can find your right fingers. If you can, you're gonna start to walk your right foot in and then look at your left foot. Now your right foot's gonna be the one that carries all the weight. Come to your left big toe, make it super light. Find your focus with your eye gaze, turn your abs on. And then it's like you're gonna ride an elevator. It's gonna be a rickety one, so go slow. This left foot's gonna come off the floor maybe. And then we rise. Whoop, whoop. If you can straighten the leg, great. I'm a little too tight for that today. And then to come out of it, you wanna think about slowly bending your standing leg. Keep your eyes focused on one point. And then left toes come down, release the hands, put that left foot all the way down, step the right foot back. Come to warrior 2, and then straighten the legs. Woo! All right, let's switch to the other side. So just tick-tock your feet, come into warrior 2. So it's really important, it's really vital that you find something to focus on with your eyes for those harder poses. All right, both hands are gonna come down. You're gonna pick up the back heel and turn into this low lunge. Adjust your feet so they're at least hips distance. Then left foot out to the side a little bit. Come up for your warrior 1. And again, hands back behind you, fist bump, or that reverse prayer. So I'm gonna turn the other way this time just so you can see what's happening with my hands in the back for our, what the heck is it called? Bird of paradise, so sorry. All right, straighten the right leg and then lift your heart, push off the left heel, fold over the front thigh for pyramid pose. So when we go into bird of paradise, there's so many components that are like part of what we're doing. It's hard to figure out what's the most important thing to accomplish. Bending the front knee a little bit, rise up, lift the arms, open back up for warrior 2. Good, and then we're gonna reach that right arm forward, right elbow to the thigh, left arm comes up, back, and behind you. And remember, this is where we say, if you can like crawl your fingers inside that right thigh, you might stand a better chance of getting the full bind. So if you've got that, right arm's gonna come under the right leg, then your hands are gonna connect, and then you look forward. Now, your left foot needs to step forward, so step it in. I take as many steps as I need to. Get it in close to the right foot, and then your left foot now is the one holding your body weight. Come to the right toes. Find your drishti, one spot. You take your eyes off that spot, you're falling over. So keep your eyes glued, start to pull your belly in, maybe start to stand. Once you're up, anytime you get into a complicated pose, the goal is 5 to 7 breaths. We are gonna maybe stay for 2 more. And then listen, you're gonna slowly start to bend your standing leg. Try to touch the right toes down lightly. Hold the bind, put the weight in the right foot. Now step your left one back. Once you get the feet established, release the hands, come up, warrior 2. Framing the front foot, both hands down, pick up the back heel, take a step into your high plank. You may vinyasa, or you may just choose to go into downward facing dog. Just 3 breaths here today. Knees to the mat, big toes touch just like in crow. Knees a little bit apart, push your hips back, take a child's pose. Big breaths here. All right, friends, let's go ahead and come back up onto our knees for just a moment and then swivel off to one butt cheek. Go ahead and come on down, legs out nice and straight. So we're gonna come full circle. Wide V here. So a little bit different this time. Maybe have a little bit more to work with. Arms up, take your hands out wide behind you, tip it forward. Just wanted to check the time. Go ahead, take one more breath. Walk your hands in. And then just begin to roll yourself back into your Shavasana shape. So you can be flat, you can come into that restorative fish pose, maybe restorative bridge sounds really good for you today. Whatever feels good is good, right? It's yoga. We want you to leave happy, come back happy. So once you're in position, we'll go ahead and just start to find some breathing here. Full breath in, full breath out. Notice how you feel now compared to when you first came in. The solar plexus is all about being fiery and on, right? And so getting the heart rate up, taking flight, taking a chance, doing something that we don't normally do, trying to trust yourself and trust me. So as you move throughout the remainder of your week and your weekend, stay strong, stay firm, be focused. I don't want to keep you any longer because we've just hit that 36 minute mark. So I don't know what time you are getting started. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap you up here. However, if you have more time in this class to kill, perhaps a little bit of a longer meditation might be something your teacher will be willing to give you today. So as you rise up, if you are finishing and wrapping up, just know that we're going to finish our usual way. So you'll come to your easy seated pose, Sukhasana, crisscross applesauce. Allow your hands to come to heart center. Thumbs press into your heart chakra, which will be the one we discuss next week. Take a nice big breath in. Tip your forehead to your fingertips, and don't forget to thank yourself today. Right? You are doing the work and showing up. Love, light, and joy, my friends, as we say, namaste. All right, guys, I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful day.